Okay, so I made like a long video, but then it got really long and I didn't get to the point until like 10 minutes. I wanted to talk about the scene within LA. It is March 28th, 2025. I'm a pink person. I don't know if I want to say my name yet. Actually, I'm Sham. Hi, I'm in the scene. I feel really dorky saying that as a 19-year-old. But I do want to talk about it because it's a community that I am in. I got into the scene maybe 3 years ago. And something that I have discovered over the last few years is that adults, grown people who know better, are taking advantage of the youth. And you know what? That happens everywhere, right? Like, people argue that, oh, well, that happens everywhere. Oh, well, that's just the scene. Oh, well, you know, it's a scene, it's a place for the misunderstood. So, within the misunderstood, there's going to be a few rotten eggs. Yeah, there is. But you as a 40-year-old, as a 50-year-old in 2025 who know the problems that these drugs that you give cause, the alcohol that you give, the way that you treat others, the way that you speak to others, you're leading by example. Because the majority of the scene over for me at least, like 14, 15, 16-year-olds in the scene fucking huffing, no one's fucking holding a balloon like this, huffing on balloons, on nitrous oxide, on laughing gas. And it's like, people like, oh, well, you know, I heard this from someone when I heard that they were selling nitrous to minors. I was like, well, yeah, do you know that, like, that can make you disabled, right? And they're like, no, at first they said, well, you know, like, that just only has, like, temporary side effects. Like, it doesn't really do anything. And I'm like, nitrous can kill your brain cells, make you more aggressive. And no, it does. It does make you more aggressive. It does kill your brain cells, and it can make you a paraplegic and make you disabled. And I remember saying that. They're like, oh, I'm gonna have to fact check that. It's laughing gas. It's given within the hospital setting. It's given to you at the dentist. Do you think this anesthetic is healthy for you to be huffing through 4 different balloons? And then you're talking like this. Oh, I'm fucking fucked up right now. And I haven't done nitrous because I was lucky enough to know what it was. I got into the scene around like 16. And so around that time, I also had my parents' guidance. Thank God. I am lucky enough to have that. And so I knew better. But a lot of people in the scene, again, it's for misunderstood people. It's people who don't have resources, or they don't know that they have resources. And we're supposed, us as older people, we are supposed to be the resources for these younger people. And the fact that, like, oh, well, I'm just trying to make a bag, you know, like, it's just, money's tight right now, and it's like my only way to make money. I understand. I hear you. Hustling culture is been big. And, you know, if that's the only way you can make money, like, quick money, maybe. And you know what? Like, me, I have been surrounded in drug culture, you know, like, it just is what it is, you know, that was just my life growing up. But it's because it's an easy, quick buck, and you're able to prey on children who, you know, it could just be, like, they could have, like, situations going on, or they could just be mentally ill. It could just be, like, how they're programmed. And, you know, for an example, I'm sorry I'm getting sidetracked, but for example, like, Euphoria, I'm sorry, just hear me out. Euphoria, Rue, she didn't really have, like, a terrible childhood. She was just programmed that way. She was just sick. And, you know, like, nothing terribly went wrong in her childhood other than the fact that, like, she suffered from OCD and I think bipolar, and, you know, like, the beginning, like, she started having panic attacks and was given Valium, and then she was like, wow, that's the feeling that I've been needing. And so it's in a way of escape. It's a way of escape. That's, like, a lot of what people use drugs for. It's a way of escape. And so when you, as a grown man, a grown woman, a grown person, are feeding into that way of escape through nitrous, like, that's insane. And, you know, I have had people fucking get on me for this, for saying these things. And, I mean, there's no argument, at least that I've heard yet, that's gonna make me change my mind. Oh, well this. Oh, well that. Oh, well, it's not that dangerous. We have resources. It's 2025. It's not the 90s. It's not the 2010s. It's not the 2000s. We have resources. We know that nitrous is bad for us. We know that nicotine is bad for us. We know that vapes are bad for us. We know that marijuana is not totally fucking educated on. We don't have a lot of intelligence on it. And don't say, oh, you don't smoke. Okay, come on. Come on. But it's like, out of all things though, like nitrous? Oh, and don't even get me started on tabs and LSD, shrooms. I don't think the youth should be taking shrooms because how our brains are programmed as adolescents, it can make you depressed. Just how it's programmed, because our brain doesn't totally understand yet. We're still growing, and how shrooms changed our neural pathways is very interesting. But of course, we're not fully formed in here. I'm not fully formed in there. So, like, for example, I get extremely depressed after taking shrooms, after doing a trip set. And I usually only do tripping within a setting of intention, which usually helps me get out of it better. But I have tripped without intention, and I explained it as like unfinished business, and I just felt dazed and fatigued and out of it. And so, like, it's just, I know I'm kind of getting off topic here, but I feel like the only thing I really wanted to like bring into perspective is be that role model, all right? Because you are their role model. Whether you like it or not, you are the elder. You are the oldest. They looked at you for guidance. They think you're cool. And whether you are or aren't, whether they think it or they don't, you are their role model. The way that you hold yourself and hold others, and the way that you treat others, and the way that you look out for others, they're going to mirror that. And so, I mean, maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And maybe I'm pretentious. And maybe, you know, as somebody who, of course, I've gone through struggle. But like, so has everyone. But like, as somebody who's gone through struggle, like, I'm lucky enough to have people I'm lucky to have my mother who was able to listen to me and like my concerns and my phases. But like, some people don't have that, and that's why they're in the scene. I'm in the scene because I was taught from my mother, and a lot of the values stick within the scene. And I also have values of my own. But a lot of the other people, they don't have that older person to look out for. And I'm not saying be their parent. I'm not saying be their therapist. I'm not telling you to be their older brother, older sister. I'm telling you to be a good fucking person. And stop poisoning the youth, please. They're not even fully, like, again, they're not fully grown in here. Give them a chance. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve it. Like, people argue, oh, marijuana is a gateway drug. Oh, nicotine's a gateway drug. And you know what? It can be, yes, for sure. But, like, even, like, nitrous, that's pretty far down the line. Because it's not even, like, a drug. It's gas to make you go to sleep. So, thank you for listening for like the last 9 minutes. I hope you enjoyed my little rant. I'm gonna try to do these more because I've been wanting to, and they're usually gonna be mindless. And yeah, anyways, thank you. I'll see you. Bye bye.